I recently had the aha moment that we are parenting the way that Western medicine cures disease.
Have you been listening to the podcast for a while and secretly wish you could ask me your personal questions when it comes to parenting? Well, guess what? Now you can. This summer, I'm hosting a parenting course called Aligned Parenting. And the way that we've structured it is as soon as you register, you will gain immediate access, lifetime access, which means you can look at it again and again and again to the 6 modules that we created for the Understanding Your Child's Behavior. This is all about helping you cultivate the relationship that you desire with your children, understanding how to handle tantrums, how to handle your own big emotions when you feel triggered, and create that legacy that you want to leave with your children. So this is the beauty of it. Once you register, you get immediate access to the content. And then in July and August, we have created at least 12 live coaching sessions, different times, different days. So depending on which time zone you're in or where you live or your work schedule and whatever that looks like for you, where you can just simply hop on these coaching calls, ask your questions, listen in, and get the instant feedback from me and 2 other coaches on my team. So we've made this easy, we've made this accessible, and we've made it a done-for-you program where you can do the modules on your own pace and ask for help multiple times so that we can help you not only have an epic summer, but an epic life with your children. So head on over to momisincontrol.com/summer to check it out today.
Hey ladies, I'm back. And today, actually I'm recording this in the morning, not the same day that it's being launched, but anywho. I was doing some writing this morning before the kids woke up. Everyone is officially on summer vacation, off for school for the summer. And I have gotten in the habit of waking up early. I've done this before, but being super intentional that I'm waking up and I'm going to be getting a few hours of work complete and rituals and things like that, just so that I feel primed for the day. As somebody who is an active creator and, an ambitious go-getter and dreamer, it's not that I don't work when my children are around. I still do that. But it's just about getting that time done so that when everybody wakes up, I feel primed and great. And I will definitely share more about my routines. If you guys want to know more about what that looks like, just send messages to support@heatherchauvin.com or message me on Instagram @mamisincontrol, and I will make note of that. So this morning I was talking about, I was doing some writing for the upcoming Aligned Parenting program that I have. That is launching July 8th. So if you want to know more details, go to mamisincontrol.com/summer. That's where there's 6 modules all about helping you feel in control of your parenting. So specifically around your children's behavior, understanding your children's behavior. But we also have 14 plus live coaching sessions. So you're going to go through the modules on your own time, and then you can get live coaching from myself and 2 other coaches. And this is all about helping you gain the confidence that you are not screwing up your kids, but feeling like you're an epic parent. And too often, we're parenting from this place of default where, we have no education in parenting. The only education we have is from how we were parented. And most of us don't like how we were parented because our parents were doing the best that they absolutely could. But it's, we're passing down generational trauma, right? So your parents got that from your grandparents, and your grandparents got that from their parents. And, society has shifted where children actually do have a voice now. And so by default, we've swung the pendulum the complete opposite direction. And now, children have more of a voice than ever, but you feel like you're being ruled by your children. We're doing more for them, and we're creating this codependency with our children. So it's not about, am I doing this right? All of a sudden, you might hear a cat meow for some reason. I am recording this on my porch, and then this random cat just popped up. It's actually the neighborhood cat. His name is Buddy. So anywho, what I was saying was, it's not that there's a right way to parent. There's a right way for you and your child. And so aligned parenting is just it's the philosophy that I teach, that are you living in alignment? Like, does it feel good? If it doesn't feel good, then something is off and you're going to have to change it. And it's going to look different for every single child and every single family. So that said, I started this podcast with the intention to talk about how we are parenting. And as I was writing this morning, I realized, everyone will talk about the symptom. How do I get my children to listen to me? How do I get my children to respect me? How do I get my children to go to sleep? How do I, help my children with their academics in school? My son is so angry. How do I help him with his anger? My daughter, whatever. And these are symptoms. These are symptoms, right? Like, this is the issue, but this is not the solution. But the way that we've been taught, and when I'm looking at, a lot of the parenting books and strategies are the same way that Western medicine is, quote unquote, curing disease. So let me give you an example. 5 years ago, I had stage 4 cancer, and I was starting to get into the wellness world. I understood the benefits of yoga and meditation and all of that, and supplements, but I didn't fully understand why they were good and how they help with prevention. I also didn't understand, and back then, even though it was 5 years ago, there wasn't a lot of research on the reverse of aging, the reversing of disease and illness and chronic pain that meditation had on the mind and the body. So it wasn't until I personally got into functional medicine and integrative medicine and, being proactive in your life and not being reactive, not waiting until you're in crisis zone, but being preventative, that I started to put this correlation together of how we are approaching parenting. And the people that you typically go to for parenting advice, the first person you will go to is your medical doctor. And your medical doctor is not a parenting expert. And even if they are, you definitely have to find your own passion and connection to it. But a lot of people will go to a pediatrician and be like, this behavior, but they're not behavioral specialists. And then you will go to a therapist. And I am a huge advocate of therapy. I know there's a lot of therapists that talk or listen to this podcast, but please understand that some therapists and coaches and whatever will take let's look at the symptom, let's talk about the symptom, let's mull in the symptom, and try to give tools and strategies to alleviate the symptoms, right? Or look at the past. And I'm not saying that one way is the only way. What I'm saying is, you as the consumer, you as the parent, you as the human being need to start advocating for yourself and say, does this feel right? Because my approach might not work for everybody. Someone else's approach might not work for everybody. So here's the point of this podcast. Are you approaching parenting on a symptom basis, or are you looking at the whole child? Too often, when a client comes to work with me and they start talking about the symptom, we start pulling back the layers. And I'm like, are you projecting anything onto this child? Does the way you feel about yourself have anything to do about, the way that the child feels about themselves? How did you feel as a child growing up? How are you managing your time and your energy? Are you putting any expectations on your child? Are you projecting your fears onto your child? What stories and beliefs do you have about this situation? And over again, what I realize is we can't ask, how do I get my child to XYZ? We have to look at the whole situation and start asking ourselves, what beliefs and stories am I projecting onto my child? Do they even fit into the system that they're being challenged with? I just noticed this at my son's graduation. Graduating grade 8. All the awards go out for academic performance. All the awards go out for physical performance. No awards go out for other types of learning. No awards go out for seeking individual strengths. There's just 2 factors that they take into consideration. What's the number on your report card? And how fast can you run? Or how good are you at a specific sport? But what if you're not one of those 2 things? Does that mean you're not good enough? Or does that mean you don't fit in to that system? So this is when we have to pull back the layers a little bit and start asking ourselves, am I actually parenting from a Western medical model? Where I'm just looking at the symptom? Or am I looking at the root cause of the symptom? And so when I say your child's behavior is speaking to you, what I mean by that is it's telling you something. But we have to have an open mind. We can't have a fixed mindset when it comes to parenting. And again, this is why I always say that parenting is personal growth on steroids. So ask yourself, are you just looking at the symptom? Are you looking at the behavior as the symptom and trying to mask the symptom? Put Band-Aids on the symptom, calm down the symptom, and then once the symptom is calmed down, you won't worry about it again. Or are you trying to get to the root cause of the symptom, pluck that out, heal that, so that the symptom doesn't arise anymore, and it doesn't show up in their future, it doesn't show up in your grandchildren's future, and generations forward? How are you looking at your child's behavioral symptoms?
Focusing on the joyful things. These children are gifts, and we only have them for a small amount of time. So I think it's been really just being able to see the gift that they bring us as opposed to the burden that they put on us.